Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Cosmic Culture, the channel where we talk about all major movie and television news, theories, breakdowns, and more. I'm Chris, and the purpose of today's video is to talk about the very exciting upcoming Marvel project that is releasing September 3rd, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Now, as for any Marvel project, and I think what makes the MCU very exciting and an awesome culminating project overall, are the connecting points, the Easter eggs, and how the plots all intertwine with each other to eventually become one big, huge MCU collaborative film and event. Now, this connection of films from one to the other eventually all come into this one big, huge place where we see the Endgame, the Infinity War, the huge sagas that come into one masterpiece. And as we move into Phase 4, there are questions as to what will be the next big event, whether it will be Secret Wars, the inclusion of mutants, how will it all come together and connect? So far with the Disney Plus shows that we've seen, we know Loki and the multiverse is opening up, that Wanda's going to be involved in Doctor Strange, and all of these awesome connections will eventually unfold into one thing, as here comes Spider-Man with its multiverse, and then Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, really opening it up and showing us what the craziness of the multiverse that we were shown in Loki really can be. But now, as we sit here waiting for Shang-Chi to release, the question has to be asked, where does this connect into the future of the MCU and to Phase 4 or 5 moving forward? Where does Shang-Chi eventually find its way into the collaborative universe that has been the oh-so-fun-to-watch MCU? We're going to cover that in today's video. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, guys, if you'll have to stay up to date on this news, leaks, theories. We're covering all sorts of franchise and major movie events here on the channel, so turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads. Also, comment down below and let me know how you would like to see Shang-Chi connect to the MCU. Now we have a number of different evidences that are showing the connection moving forward, but I think we need to first compare Shang-Chi to that of Black Panther. Black Panther was out there, he was on his own, and he wasn't really included in anything going on in the MCU until the major event that brought him over. But Wakanda wasn't invented the day that Black Panther decided to happen, it had always been there in the background, and we saw Easter eggs of this throughout the MCU as they were preparing for the connection of this character as he could become a big huge member moving forward, protecting the world from the devastation of Thanos, and of course, protecting his people. Now, this connection to the MCU was very subtle, but it was very, very cool the way they did it. And when the original Black Panther movie came out, it really didn't connect or combine immediately with the Avengers. It was off on its own and it had its own storyline. We should expect similar things to happen with Shang-Chi, as we will find there were a lot of Easter eggs, probably in the Iron Man 3 area where they were talking about the 10 rings, even though they were the fake 10 rings. We will see some Easter eggs and connecting points that will make sense when Shang-Chi comes out. Now, this film will stand off on its own as we're learning more about this character specifically, his storyline, his plotline, and his future, but his destiny will definitely be one of an MCU culmination and a connection to the core superheroes. Now, whether that makes him an Avenger or not, which is unlikely that he'll be a mainstream Avenger because Black Panther really wasn't an Avenger either. However, the connection, the help, the force to protect from the big bad, which very well may be Jonathan Majors Kang, will be pivotal moving forward, as Shang-Chi is actually a very, very powerful character in the MCU, especially when he has his hands on the 10 rings. We get a little bit of evidence of his power from the trailer when his father, who is the current holder of the 10 rings, and the leader of this group, says to him, "My men went after you and I told them that they could not capture you. I'm glad to see that I was right." This is talking about the insane potential he has. Nobody has the ability to even capture Shang-Chi, even without any of the 10 rings. Now, we see in the trailer as well that he definitely gets his hands on some of them, so moving forward, when he may and probably will have all 10 rings, this will be a very formidable character in the MCU, who eventually will make his way into the main Marvel timeline, and I'm very excited to see that connection when it comes. Now, in a trailer that actually went out today, we get an awesome opening that shows 3 different important Avengers.
You are a product of all who came before you.
Those Avengers are, of course, Thor, Captain America, and Iron Man. And the trailer starts off by saying, "You are a product of all who came before you," and it flashes through all three of their iconic items. Iron Man's outfit, the Captain America shield, and of course Thor's hammer, and then it flashes on to the 10 rings, which is an obvious connection showing that he is going to be a very important piece moving forward in the MCU, as important as Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor were, which is super cool to see because, like I've been saying, Shang-Chi is an incredible character in the comics, and his potential really is unlimited, especially once he gets his hands on the 10 rings. We also have a cool featurette, which is kind of like a trailer, but has talking over it from either cast members, directors, writers, or people like Kevin Feige. Now check out what he had to say in this featurette.
I'm going back to the very beginning of the MCU. We have a keystone event, and that event is Tony Stark becoming Iron Man. He's forced to build these weapons for an organization, and that organization was the 10 Rings.
Those details that he's giving us about the connection to Iron Man are super cool, but they're also hints as to how we can see this character connecting in the future, moving forward into Phase 4 or maybe Phase 5, when this character will be brought over from his own plot, storyline, and destiny, and connected with the likes of some of the superheroes who will be around to stop all of the evil from happening around us. Now that evil, we have no clue exactly what it's going to be. The big bad of the entire first 3 phases, or the Infinity Saga, of course, was Thanos. But moving forward, we'll see some new big bads, some new villains, and of course, some new groups of heroes to take them out. And Shang-Chi, as his movie is about to release, will be a very important part of that. I can't over or underhype that enough. Now, originally, as this movie even releases, we may not see an original connection, but there will be Easter eggs, hidden moments, phrases, ways words are put out, posters in the background, and maps, things that will subtly and very quietly start connecting him to the main MCU timeline. And I'm super excited to see that, guys. Overall, Shang-Chi is, one, super powerful, super fun, and a lot of energy comes from this character, and two, going to be a super cool team player when he's called upon to be a hero in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Nothing is ever about themselves, everything is always about the big picture with Marvel. But don't let that overshadow either this opportunity, as history is being made not only for this character, but for these people who are putting together a fantastic movie in a fantastic genre for some fantastic fans. Overall, guys, let me know what you think about Shang-Chi, what your expectations are for him, or any questions maybe you have about the character in the comments section down below, as we wait to see his solo film release September 3rd, and then eventually his inclusion in the MCU as he teams up with some of our favorite heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching to the very end of the video. If you found it helpful, useful, or entertaining, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one right here on Cosmic Culture.